Wow, great timing.
All right, welcome to Varsity Sports Fusion. This is our drafts show. First round of the draft started yesterday, 2014. It was a late draft, but it definitely it lived up to the hype. It was one of the weirdest, most unexpected drafts in my opinion.
Yeah, we were definitely. A lot of people were surprised from this draft. No one really knew it was coming.
So we have a couple players that we want to talk about just first. Biggest names in the draft. So we'll talk first with the first pick of the draft, Jadeveon Clowney, going first overall to the Texans.
Oh yeah, not a surprise there.
Yeah, everyone knew. Everyone knew this was coming.
Yeah.
Best player in the draft.
I think some people were surprised. Some people thought Manziel might go first, but I think Texans definitely went with the best pick.
There was a
I don't know.
slight talk about Manziel going first, but I mean he ended up in good place. I mean,
With him and J.J. Watt on the defensive ends.
yeah, the Texans will have a dominating defensive line.
Does it kind of need an offense though? Like that.
You're right, but this is what the second round is for. They're going to get a good quarterback that's going to help their team.
Probably Derek Carr.
Either Derek Carr, McCarron, Murray. I mean, there's some good quarterbacks that are.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
they're going to help out.
I still almost felt like they should have gone with an offensive player right off the bat.
I don't know how you can pass up Jadeveon Clowney. He really is like the clear-cut best player in this draft. He has so much talent, and he still has, even with all the talent he still has so much upside. There's still like potential, which is for someone as good as him, that's surprising. That doesn't normally happen.
Oh yeah.
But when you're drafting, you have to think if you want to make the playoffs, first thing you have to do is win your division. And when you have Andrew Luck in your division on the Colts, this is the perfect pick.
Yeah.
Because Andrew Luck is going to be running for his life because he's got J.J. Watt coming from one side, Jadeveon Clowney coming from the other.
Oh, definitely from the.
That is scary.
Yeah, definitely when it comes to from the standpoint of them worrying about their division before playoffs and all that. Then yes, I think that was perfect because they have some of the powerhouse offense in their division, so they definitely gotta strategize against that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard. Like, if I'm Andrew Luck, I'm sweating bullets right now.
Yeah, me too.
For when I play
so now Luck and the Colts for the second round need to start getting some really good O linemen.
Definitely.
They have a lot of other things to shore up. They have a good offensive line, but I don't think just a good offensive line is good enough to stop. It's very rare that you have two great defensive linemen. I mean, you could look at the Colts a couple years ago with Freeney and Mathis. I mean, that was always hard to stop. And I don't know. I feel like this is the most dangerous defensive line combo I've ever seen in my life.
It's definitely a pretty great one. Johnny Manziel. That's who everyone was seeing where he's going. He
I was so
heads
surprised.
the Browns with the Browns having 2 picks in the first round trading. They got the 8th pick with Gilbert, and then their 22nd pick they got Manziel, which
that doesn't really surprise me, to be honest. I mean, him going that late into the draft, I kind of expected that. I mean, with the way he acted all of his college season, it doesn't really surprise me that he would go so late. Seeing how teams look at that, no team wants that surrounding their team.
He's been looked at as kind of a gamble for players. I mean,
he really
Blake
is.
Bortles went first, and people kind of saw him as more of a safe option. But Manziel has so much potential, more potential than any of the quarterbacks.
Oh yeah.
But he also has that side where he could just be the biggest flop ever.
Well, the Browns really can't lose anything. They have nothing right now, so why not just gamble? And if you
I don't know if I don't know if the Jaguars picked their best pick with Bortles though, because he is a safe pick, like you said.
But they do kind of need a quarterback.
They do. They definitely do. And I don't know if.
And
Bortles
with Blackman
is
out there now,
I think what the Jaguars needed was either Johnny Manziel or Teddy Bridgewater. I don't think Bortles was the.
Well, at least now they have a better quarterback than what they had.
A quarterback's going to help them. That's definitely what they needed. I mean, they got a quarterback. Now they have to live with their decision.
Which could be deadly with Blackman out there.
They do have. If they can build it around.
If they can keep their wide receivers' heads in, for Blackman last year, he got suspended for a while. So
with the Browns, most people know. People on the show know, most people, if you've listened to me, I don't like Johnny Manziel, and I haven't ever since he took the Heisman from Manti Te'o. But I've never liked him, and I think the Browns. I think he could be a good player, and the Browns were smart in trading their 4th pick to move to 9th, and then trading back up to get him. I thought that that was a genius first round. Mm-hmm. But in my opinion, the Browns are where football careers go to die.
It kind of, but I think kind of. Now with the way they're like really attacking this draft, I really feel that they're trying to change that. I mean, they went out and they got Manziel. They got like the gamble pick. Like they're just getting really going out there with some of their picks right now, and I think they
have Josh Gordon at wide receiver, which Manziel that's got to be his favorite target.
And if the Browns want to win some games, I say they get another receiver in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
They
need offense.
There's some good
especially
receivers
after
still
trading
out there.
Trent Richardson away.
Yeah.
And
if I was the Browns, I'd be getting an offensive line so that because Manziel he's taken some big hits in college because and he's not necessarily the biggest of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. But he has a big mouth for a quarterback, which could be very deadly in the NFL.
I mean, so
he's gonna need some protection.
As great as he is when he runs around, if I want him as a franchise quarterback, I want to protect him so he's not hurt. That's mine.
I definitely think they should start really attacking the draft, looking for an offense because they did get Gilbert. Go Pokes. They did get Gilbert out there, which will be a really good attribute to their defense. And now if they can get just a super powerhouse offense, I think that'll also help them out a lot. Having Manziel and then get a couple receivers, I think that'd be awesome.
I really think they need a receiver. I really think they need to be going after a receiver next to help another receiver. But Josh Gordon is one of the best. He showed us that he is one of the best in the NFL last year by having a great season. And we'll see how he does. Everyone's waiting for that first game for the Browns. Let's see how it comes.
Let's make our predictions here and now, right after the draft. Does Manziel succeed in Cleveland?
Yes. Yes, he does. Definitely. Big time guy.
He's going to be
awesome.
Big time. Connor?
All right, Connor.
I don't know. It's at 50-50. It's kind of like how Texas A&M took the gamble.
He can't make a pick.
Texas A&M took the gamble and it paid off for them. So I'm going to have to say yes. It's going to pay off.
Say yes. All right. What about you, Zach?
I think Johnny Manziel will succeed in the NFL. He's going to be a big name. He's going to make the plays that he needs to make. He's going to make plays that
just like he did at Texas A&M.
He's going to shock the world.
If he can do it, if he can get his head on.
He's going to shock the world.
I'm going to be the opposition here, and I'm going to stick with my theme of not liking Manziel. He is going to struggle. First of all, he's on the Browns. Browns, like I said, if you look at their list of quarterbacks over the past 10 years, it is the sorriest thing ever. That's where, if you think of Brady Quinn, he dropped to the Browns.
Go Browns.
And he was supposedly one of the best quarterbacks in the draft. And he flopped there. I think Manziel's going to flop here. I think his mouth is bigger than his play. Mm-hmm. And I
think they need a new coaching staff is what it sounds like. Because if all players go to die, it can't just be
it's not just
players. On the team. Yeah. Exactly.
So that's going to wrap us up for our first section of talking the draft. So we're going to take it to a commercial. We'll be right back to talk about some of the other great picks that went in the first round.
Michael against Russell, 12 seconds. 11, 10. Jordan a drive, hangs, fires, scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86. Oh my goodness. Michael against Russell, 12 seconds. 11, 10. Jordan a drive, hangs, fires, scores! He scores! The Bulls lead 87-86. Oh.
All right. Welcome back, everybody.
How you doing? So we are going to just talk about, so the first round happened. We're just going to talk about some of our favorite picks and actually some of our least favorite picks because I think there was a mix of both, a lot of surprises, things like that. So we'll start with Stanley over here. Who was your favorite pick in the first round? Who do you think got the most out of their pick?
Definitely my favorite pick is my hometown team, the Oakland Raiders, with Khalil Mack out of Buffalo. When Buffalo Bills traded up, I thought Buffalo was going to take, their hometown kid, but they picked up Sammy Watkins. And then the Raiders need defense. They just need defense because their passing defense is awful. And Khalil Mack, his big presence, is going to help them out so much.
I would say getting Khalil Mack at 5 was a steal.
Yeah, it definitely was.
I mean, that sounds weird to have a steal.
And he was supposed to go to Jacksonville, too.
I think he could have went higher in the draft.
He was supposed to go number 3.
I could have seen him as a valuable first pick. I mean, because Clowney did have questions of, work ethic, and I could have seen Khalil Mack. So getting him at 5, Raiders
great. That is a great pick for the
Which
Raiders.
they needed to. Raiders, they need good
needed
players.
something.
They need good players
They
in
need
general,
just winning ways. That's all.
For sure.
It really doesn't matter what position they're at. They just need better players.
Yeah.
So that's your. So wait, least favorite now? Least favorite?
Yeah,
my least favorite has to be Blake Bortles. I mean, he's a great quarterback. I don't know if he's number 3 worthy. He doesn't really have a great arm right now. To be honest, I think the Jaguars would have been better off with Johnny Manziel. That's leaving it right there.
I agree with you that it was a bad pick. Jaguars could have gotten a lot more value out of that pick. I don't think they should have drafted a quarterback in the first round. They have a lot of issues on their defense that they need to shore up, and I think they should have been the one that picked Khalil Mack.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil Mack would have been a great pick, and I think over this offseason, the Jaguars re-signed Chad Henne to a 2-year contract. And it doesn't make any sense to re-sign your quarterback and then bring in a new guy.
Yeah. I mean, dumb pick by the Jaguars. I don't think they.
I think we all agree on that one. That was kind of a rough pick.
Yeah.
All right, Connor, what was your favorite pick?
Obviously, number 8, defensive back Justin Gilbert to the Browns.
You're just an OK State.
1, because yes, he is from OK State, and 2, I like that the Browns picked him because they do need a little help on defense, and he's a very good corner, so that'll help them out along with having Manziel for their offense. So I think they kind of got the best of both worlds with that pick, helping their defense. And for my least favorite, I'm going to go with the Lions tight end Eric Ebron.
I definitely agree.
I definitely think the Lions should have gone with a defensive player.
Defensive back. Defensive safety.
They have the super powerhouse offense already.
They also have a good, a solid D line with Nick Fairley and Dominican Sue. I mean,
they really needed to pick defense on this one, I think, and especially just adding another asset to the offense, which honestly, who knows how much he'll play, because their offense did really well last season anyways.
They did. They could have went either defensive back or safety or an offensive lineman for me. I mean,
and with Calvin
I don't know.
With CJ on there, they really don't need.
They need to change something up. The Packers are beating them to death every year.
That pick really was almost like
sad.
They didn't have a plan, and they didn't. They didn't look at their needs. They're like, oh, who's the best player left? And apparently he's who they had there.
I can see the guys that drafted him looking at a 1-minute highlight film of this dude catching a lot of touchdowns and be like, that's our guy,
But that's not what they need. I don't know. I don't know. Well, maybe they have some master plan that I haven't seen yet. We'll see it in the second round, but I don't know.
This is a pick that has to do with Jim Caldwell. Jim Caldwell's new head coach. If you remember him, he coached the Colts a couple years ago when Peyton Manning got hurt, and that's when he got fired. But he's an offensive-minded coach, and so I could see him why he's going to pick something that he's comfortable with rather than going with something that he doesn't understand as well. But
he's just
offense. They should have went lineman. That's all I have to say.
So, they definitely need either defensive back or I don't know, literally anything besides a tight end.
Yeah,
exactly.
Anyone that could run out and catch a ball. They don't need that.
Let's go to Zach.
Yeah, they have Calvin Johnson.
Right. My favorite, besides Johnny Manziel, is Clinton Dix of the Packers. That's what they really need. Packers are my favorite team, and they needed defensive, especially a safety.
That was a great pick. He's Clinton Dix.
Ball hawk. He's a great
hard
defensive
hitter.
player. You're going to get 110% out of this kid every time he steps on the field. And I think it's going to help the Packers a lot.
Oh yeah,
that's really quite a name too.
It is.
That name though.
Packer Nation's going to be crazy about that. He's going to step on Lambeau.
I want that jersey.
And they're all going to be like,
I want that jersey.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to be here. I want that jersey. My least favorite pick. Gosh, dang it.
Probably Cowboys, something like that. That's what I would pick next for least favorite.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to go with
Cowboys
definitely. Gosh, I don't think the Giants needed Odell Beckham Jr.
That was.
I don't know.
I think he helps them.
He
I
does,
don't think
but
it
I
was
mean,
their
I don't
best
think.
pick.
I mean, they might need an offensive line.
I feel like they have an old
through the
team,
season.
though, you know?
With all the interceptions they threw this season, I think the Giants could have went out and got a better pick with an offensive lineman or a defensive player or something.
I don't think that took. I mean,
they
yeah.
do. I mean, they have like a couple good like receivers still,
But they're old.
You're right.
I mean, that pick's not good, but it's also not too bad. Like some of their receivers are so old, it's amazing they're not out there in wheelchairs doing flies. You know, I mean, the pick's not their best they probably could have done, but I still think it was pretty decent trying to get some fresh, new, hip now, young on the team, which is really what they need.
And Odell Beckham Jr. is one of the best receivers in the draft, and he's gonna bring a lot.
He's a big presence
to the
program.
To the Giants.
It just wasn't like the smartest.
I don't know.
pick.
I just didn't think it was that great of a pick for them.
So, for me, my favorite pick of the draft was at number 24 to the Bengals. Darqueze Dennard, Michigan State cornerback. This guy is incredible. He is the best man-to-man corner in this draft. Justin Gilbert is a great corner, but when it comes to playing man-to-man, playing close, Darqueze Dennard should have been that 10 pick to the Lions. That's who the Lions need.
That is exactly who they should have grabbed.
He fits in like their play style, that mean, like, I'm just going to get in your face and just punch you kind of defense. But the Bengals getting him all the way down at 24, man, they got a steal, and he's going to help. They have an awesome offense. They got, they have some great AJ Green.
Definitely agree.
On the offense,
I mean,
so
they had
that defense is
going
to be a lot better with him.
Yeah.
Which will be good because the Bengals needed that.
And then
they need
for my least favorite pick,
non-tugs.
where you guys had your favorite picks going to your favorite team, my least favorite pick is going to my Eagles. It was rough. Because they traded down from 22. They traded with the Browns, so they traded down, so they got an additional pick, which is always nice. But I would have liked to have seen them pick Darqueze Dennard, because that's what they need. They need that defensive back. Instead, they went with Marcus Smith out of Louisville.
That doesn't make sense, because all like these grades are like 98 and 91, like 89, and then Marcus Smart is 70. That's like third round.
They had him going. I had him going late second, early third, and possibly late third. So the Eagles really wasted a pick.
You never know. Maybe he'll come out and
even if
blossom.
Even if he has a ton of upside, if you can get him later in the draft,
they definitely
and pick somebody that's
he's gonna be there.
Like,
he is still gonna be there in the third round.
At this point in the draft,
I would have guaranteed it.
At this point in the draft, even after they traded down, Kelvin Benjamin was still there, Marquise Lee was still there, and they just lost Deshaun Jackson. So they could have picked somebody.
They could have picked up a receiver that would have helped them.
And then they could have gotten Marcus Smith's second round, and so that's why I'm so upset about this pick. And I was like, that was the dumbest move of anybody, because they picked somebody that they didn't need to pick this round. They could have gotten him way later.
Yep.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, one move by the Eagles.
There was a good pick, though. I like number 20, Brandon Cooks to the Saints. Yeah. That is going to be just deadly.
Yeah,
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
And look out for Teddy Bridgewater, too.
Teddy Bridgewater.
That was genius. Vikings got such a steal there.
Don't you feel like Teddy Bridgewater, of all the quarterbacks drafted in this first round, has the best chance, because he does have a Hall of Fame running back in his backfield?
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice.
He's got a good defense, So I feel like he's got the best.
The only problem is, like we saw last year, Vikings really, really struggled with offense when it came to throwing the ball and getting and keeping a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe
they have this dual threat with.
But the only problem is
to sit in the pocket and pass, maybe even run once.
But I'm worried they're going to have to rehire maybe a little bit of their coaching staff, because at this point their mindset from if they bring it over from last year is so just run because we don't have a quarterback and throw. So they kind of have to reshape a little bit of their offense so that Bridgewater can get in there and make some passes.
Of course, and I think he.
So they need to be looking for a receiver. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Hoping for some receiver and offensive line next round.
So that pretty much wraps up our first round analysis, but we're going to be back right after the commercial to talk about some of our best remaining players and some local players. Kyle Van Noy still hasn't gone, so we'll be back in just a second.
people. You look so much better when you smile. So smile. Now every day ain't gonna be perfect.
All right, welcome back to Varsity Sports Fusion. So we just wrapped up our first round analysis, talking about our favorite picks, things like that. So now we're just going to talk about things that happen in the draft to come. And one of those things that's going to happen is we're going to have people from Utah be drafted. So Tanner's just going to talk to us a little bit about that. Second, tell us some of the players.
Yeah, so if we could bring up the players from BYU who have the potential of getting drafted, that would be great. So I'll just start off by talking, I guess.
Yeah.
So sure pick, probably second round, is Kyle Van Noy.
He's definitely going to be up there. He's I guarantee teams are looking at him. He's going to be a great addition to a team. He's going to help them out.
Yep.
Wherever he goes.
He could definitely be in the top 10 of the first round. Like you said, the Buccaneers, right?
Yeah, I think he'll go 7th pick of the second round to the Buccaneers. Lovie Smith, new coach there. And he's a defensive-minded coach. If you remember, he coached the Bears to the Super Bowl where they lost to Peyton Manning, things like that. So, but he runs a 3-4 defense, which Van Noy is versatile enough that he could fit into any defense. But if he's going to be the best used, he wants to be in that 3-4 where he'll be on the outside used as a blitz or a cover instead of having to be a run stopper, things like that. But I think Tampa would be a great fit for him.
Yeah. I think it would be a great fit. I mean, Kyle Van Noy is kind of a sleeper, I think. I think he's going to be an amazing linebacker in the league.
Well, if you remember, if he had left last year, he would have been easy first round because he was coming off that bowl game where he scored 2 touchdowns. I mean, nobody does that as a defensive player. And then just this past year, he kind of fell.
Yeah.
And because, he still had an amazing season, but he didn't have
the 2 touchdowns.
The incredible season that he had the year before, where he had a statistic in every single defensive category, which is amazing. So I think anybody that picks him is getting a steal for sure.
Well, I think one of the reasons his numbers dropped is I think he, when they were up so high, I think he was thinking college ball, and then I think this past season he was thinking NFL.
Yeah.
How can I be ready?
I got to get over this. And
I don't want to get hurt because I think he was just thinking he went from the college football mindset, which is I need to play for my school, got to rep my school, then all of a sudden to draft.
I'm guessing it's because Ansa left, because having big Ansa on the other side blitzing in. I think it opened him up a little bit more, but he still had great production.
Yeah,
regardless.
for sure.
Oh, he's good. No, yeah, he's good either way, no matter what year you look at him. But I am excited to see him come in.
And then next dude we have is Daniel Sorensen. He's a safety, and he had a great combine. He set some
combine and pro day.
Yeah,
he's very quick. I think he's going to go.
I'd guess 5th.
Yeah, 5th or 6th round, probably.
Yeah,
probably around the 6th round.
But he's really fast and he's really smart too. I think he's going to be kind of a.
He really reads offenses well. That was something at BYU that I really noticed. Is as a safety, that's kind of your job. Is you have the vision of the whole field, and I think he did a really good job of that. And then obviously having a good pro day and combine will raise his draft stock.
Yeah.
And then wide receiver Cody Hoffman. He had amazing junior year, and he came back for his senior year. He kind of struggled, and I believe it's because of the quarterback.
Change.
Because Taysom Hill was kind of towards the end of the season, Taysom Hill would just run every single play, and I think Cody Hoffman in the NFL with a good quarterback who has a great arm, I think Cody Hoffman will be a great pick. Right now he's supposed to go in the 6th round.
Yes, I definitely think he'll succeed, and he's going to help out some team.
I would like to see Cody Hoffman get drafted by the Eagles. I think because they not only the Eagles, they focused on losing Deshaun Jackson, but they also lost Jason Avant. I don't know if you guys recognize him, but he was one of those players that was kind of like a 3rd, 4th option, but he was always consistent. He always caught the ball, and I feel like Cody Hoffman could be that way for any team. Really, is maybe he's not going to score 15 touchdowns in a season, but he's one of those players that if you throw it to him, he's going to catch the ball.
Yeah, he's really tall. So. And then the next, another big name for the University of Utah is their tight end, Jake Murphy. I don't know if you guys know him, but before his mission, he declared to BYU, and then he came off his mission and went to Utah. That was a bad decision.
Bad decision.
He's a big guy. I think I'm not really sure about his NFL career. I think if he has the work ethic, if he works really hard, I think he has the muscle, the body.
I think he's
to be
gonna
a good tight end.
He's gonna go late. There's still a lot of very good tight ends like above him with Austin Safarian Jenkins from Washington.
I
feel like he should have went. If any tight end was gonna go in the first round, I thought he was gonna be the one.
Yeah,
I really.
I
did.
had him going first round. If
I
you
thought
remember.
I thought if he was gonna go, I thought he was gonna be the first tight end. I really did. I mean, he can block well. He can catch the ball. He can go up and get it. I mean, he's a very good tight end, and it's just a little surprising that.
When we talk about best remaining players, I looked through my mock draft compared to what happened, and then like analysts and So Mel Kiper Jr., Todd McShay, they're ESPN's analysts. Looked through in their top 10 picks, they had one person right, and that was Jadeveon Clowney.
That's crazy.
In mine, I had 3. I had Jadeveon Clowney, Sammy Watkins, and Mike Evans.
You have Khalil?
Khalil Mack I had going to Buffalo. But so I had those 3 right, so I had 3 of 10. And if you think about that, of like all these analysts, like nobody guessed it, and there were so many players that fell. Coney Ely.
Yeah, the draft was definitely like up there. I mean, nobody really.
One player I'm excited to see get in the NFL is definitely AJ McCarron. I think he's gonna be I think he's gonna perform well because he's not on Bama. He's a good quarterback.
I think he's gonna be really consistent.
Yeah. Well, also he's not. He's used to having to work with his team. Like on Bama, it wasn't just all about him. Like it wasn't like kind of like the Manziel show. Basically,
he's kind of a puzzle
working.
piece that just fit in.
Exactly. So I think which
there.
is an awesome attribute to have, especially going to the NFL, because when you go to the NFL, it's not all about you anymore, like it is in college ball. So I think him already having that mindset, and knowing how to play in that sort of sense, I think it's gonna be awesome when he gets in there and he's able to just fit right into a team and work as a part of the team.
McCarron, I think he's a good quarterback, but I feel like he has to be picked to a team like we talked about this earlier. We were talking about the Texans. He'd work there because they have a solid defense and they have solid offensive players. So I mean, they're a solid team, and he doesn't have to be the guy. If he gets drafted by a team, not to like hurt your team, but like the Raiders, he won't succeed. I'm not trying to defend it. He won't succeed because he'd have to be the guy.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can be
exactly.
the guy.
I mean, he played at the University of Alabama. Like,
he's
got like.
I know.
All-stars all next to him.
He's definitely one of those players
which is, like I
not
said,
going to kill you, and he's not going to make the last second play to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So but that's why it's
gonna
good.
Help you. He's not gonna hurt you.
Like you said, he's a fitting puzzle piece.
I don't think he's gonna hurt you.
He just weaves it all together so perfectly.
To finish out the show, let's just go around and we'll say who we think will be the best pick to get in the second round. So we'll start with Tanner over here.
Okay, so first off, I got to go with my boy Kyle Van Noy, but I also think a really good sleeper second round pick is Bishop Sankey out of Washington. I really started liking this guy after his bowl game at Washington.
All right, how about you?
Justin Gilbert. Woo! Go Pokes.
No.
Okay,
second round pick.
Leave it.
Second round pick.
You don't know. All right, we'll go with yours.
Marquise Lee is going to be a good pickup for someone.
Derek Carr too.
Right. I'm going Xavier Su'a-Filo, the guard out of UCLA. That's all we have for our draft show.
Marquise Lee.
We'll go here next. Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?